Many places in the multiverse abound with beauty, intense emotion, and rampant magic. But we don't know about that stuff. We as barbarians, and we walk the wild magic path.
Welcome back to Big Game Small Pieces. I'm Luke as always, and I've got, as per my normal plan, Mitch. But surprisingly, we've got Froth from Froth Minis joining us again for another video. Froth, welcome to Big Game Small Pieces. Good having you, mate.
Absolute pleasure being here again. Thanks for having me here, gentlemen.
No worries.
That's great. I'm happy that you're here. I'm a little bit upset that Luke's put this little sign up here. Favorite guests ever. We've got Froth at number 1 here, and then me at number. What up in here? What up?
Well,
why am I number 2?
Mate, it's quality over quantity.
Yeah, can't argue with that. He is a sexy, sexy man. All right, well, let's crack on and get angry.
Magical awareness. At 3rd level, you get this ability. There's an action. You can open up your awareness to the presence of concentrated magic. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover. When you sense a spell, you also learn the school of magic it belongs to. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So this is handy. It's like a magical ping whenever you activate it to detect any the presence of anything, except for something that's specifically been hidden. And I would probably also include magic traps, because they'd have probably been done in such a way that you wouldn't just detect a magic trap. So I'd incorporate them as well.
I love the role play and the imagery of this. We've got a barbarian casting detect magic. He can detect any and all magic and its location within 60 feet. So he goes up to a door that's magically trapped and he opens himself. I feel the magic. And you see the beautiful mind equations start going all over the thing. And somebody's like, "Barbarian, what's wrong?" He's like, "Nothing. Opening door now." Crack! Just like he doesn't detect it all, doesn't give a shit, just kicks it in. Wild magic surge. So when the barbarian gets really, really angry, an effect will happen. This effect's DC will equal 8 plus your proficiency plus your constitution modifier. Now going into them, I'm going to dumb them right down for those that are going to play. Not that all barbarians are dumb, but I'm going to speak slowly. All right, first one is very cool, as everyone has to make each creature of your choice within 30 feet. So if you roll a 1, rolls a Constitution saving throw, and they'll take 1d12 damage, and you also gain 1d12 temporary hit points.
Good one.
Awesome. Second one, you teleport 30 feet to an unoccupied space and can do that as a bonus action every round. Awesome.
Fantastic.
Third one, little flumps or fairies appear and then explode at the end of your turn. Now, I like these being flumps,
Why not?
Not pixies, because honestly, if a pixie appears and then explodes... Actually, no, I prefer that. That sounds hilarious. Like, next one, magic infuses one weapon of your choice that you're holding with the properties light and thrown and gives you a range of 20 feet to 60 feet. And it leaves your hand, it reappears in your hand. I love this one so much. The idea of someone throwing a 2-handed warhammer like a dagger is just too good to beat. Like, that's friggin' hilarious.
That's
really
going.
got some Thor going on there.
That's going down. Thor.
Yes. 5. When a creature hits you with an attack, it takes 1d6 force damage as magic lashes out in retribution.
It's good.
And that's not even a reaction, so that's pretty damn cool. 6, until your rage ends, you are surrounded by multicolored protective lights and you gain +1 bonus AC. And all allies within 10 feet of you gain this as well.
Disco mode barbarian.
Hell yes. I would love to see this where everyone, as they come into the range near the disco ball, they all start dancing That extra 1 AC is their movement sort of dodging. 7. Flowers and vines temporarily grow around you until your rage ends. The ground within 15 feet of you is difficult terrain for your enemies.
That's there.
Run away no more. Last one is 8. You become Iron Man and shoot him. Or better yet, this is the Care Bear stare.
We care.
1d6 radiant damage and blinded again with the Constitution saving throw. I guess it's fun. We'll get onto that later.
Bolstering Magic, 6th level Path of Wild Magic feature. You can harness your wild magic to bolster yourself or a companion. As an action, you can touch one creature, which can be yourself, and confer one of the following benefits of your choice to that creature. For 10 minutes, the creature can roll a d3, half a d6, whenever making an attack roll or an ability check, and add the number rolled to the d20 roll. Another roll 3. The creature regains 1 expended spell slot, the level of which equals the number rolled or lower, the creature's choice. Once a creature receives this benefit, the creature can't receive it again until after a long rest. A bit of a tricky one. Bit of complexity in that at 6th level. What are your thoughts, guys?
Interesting. Pairing this with, considering you can do this on cue and you can choose to do it, pairing this with the Peace Cleric, plus 4 for the D4 for the Peace Cleric, plus D4 for Bless, and then plus D3 as well.
You could skills monkey this thing up.
Multi-class Barbarian with Cleric is just the weirdest concept, but that would totally work. That would be breaking. Yeah.
And this doesn't require rage, so it's possible.
And we have a couple of spellcasters in the group, giving people like a 3rd level spell. Like say you max that roll out, and that's a fireball. That's fly. That's a good spell. And even ones on level 1 and 2, you can pick up something handy. And not just one member can gain a benefit from this, but 2 different people. You rage twice a day, will gain the benefit from it. So very handy.
Yeah, not even raging. This is just number of proficiency level.
Yeah, I'd be more concerned of the Barbarian trying to, touch this creature whilst he's, sorting everything out, that he doesn't actually accidentally push someone through a wall. Yeah, I'll help you.
I'm looking at this. The most important feature for this is the roll of D3, give a spell slot, because let's say somebody's died and no one's got spell slots. Revivify is a 3rd level spell. Your Barbarian just saves someone. Min-maxers could have a field day with this, because there's literally no concentration on it, no real checks of any kind. It's just, this is for 10 minutes. So the one thing they have going for it is it doesn't say saves, because if it said saves, it could do all sorts of stuff, but it's only attacks and ability checks. So Unstable Backlash, 10th level Path of the Magic feature. When you are imperiled during your rage, the magic within can lash out immediately after you take damage or fail a saving throw while raging. You can use your reaction to roll on the wild magic table and immediately produce the effect rolled. This effect replaces your current wild magic effect. Now,
second go.
The thing I don't like about this is that you can use your reaction. I kind of would like it if you had to roll it. Like, it's because it's your reaction. You can use your reaction to roll on the wild magic table. So it's your choice. I get it. But I kind of wish you had to roll all the time whenever you failed a saving throw. That'd be very cool.
Yeah, I see this as having a second go. Like, by level 10 now, you've been doing this for a while. You've got, I guess, some control over the randomness of what's coming your way. And if you didn't get the ability you wanted, then you can have a second crack at getting the one you want.
The reason this could be amazing is on your turn, you rage and you get the first one. They take D12 damage, you get D12 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Then you get hit, it soaks with D12 temporary hit points and then goes into your rage already, so half damage. You use your reaction to cast it again, they take another D12, you get the 10 hit points back.
Could be 2 1s, yeah. Or you could get flumps. And I guess that's going to come down to, yeah, like likes and dislikes. But our 14th level ability, the Controlled Surge, is whenever you roll on the Wild Magic table, you can roll the dice twice and choose which of the two effects to unleash. If you roll the same number on both dice, you can ignore the number and choose any effect on the table. So we're getting more and more control over our Wild Magic at 14th level. I don't mind it. I think we're starting to get less wild, but I can definitely see by 14th level you might be a bit over and wouldn't mind a little bit more options as to your wild magic charts. So I can see why, yeah, you should have figured some shit out by now.
God damn it, this is another one where they've dialed it in, because the 14th level ability for the Wild Magic Sorcerer is Controlled Chaos. At 14th level, you gain a modicum of control over the surges of your Wild Magic. Whenever you roll on the Wild Magic Surge table, you roll twice and use either number.
Mm-hmm. So
the reason that became important was that to explode yourself with a level 3 fireball became rarer because you'd have to roll the same number twice on a D100. This is a D8 scale of all positive things.
Yeah, nothing's really bad.
They've dialed it in unnecessarily because, like, oh no, I only got a pretty good thing.
Yeah, I can see a bit of that. Broth, what do you reckon about likes and dislikes? What tickles your fancy with this class?
Yeah, I think at earlier levels it's a boon for the barbarian because you get these abilities almost straight up, and there's some pretty cool ones in there. I sort of feel though as the character develops and it goes through levels, there's, like you say, it's a bit dialed in mod. It's not as exciting later on in game, so that's probably a con in my opinion. I mean, at 14th level, the fact that I just get to pick 2 random results is a bit lackluster.
Yeah, almost inconsequential considering one of them does 1d6 force damage at 14th level.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing a whole lot at 14.
Yeah, they're not leveling and stacking up. What I see about likes and dislikes is by the time you get to these high levels, you've used these abilities time and time again, and the wildness is probably lacking. What they could have done potentially was expand the charts so that when you get to 10th level, now you roll a d10 and there's 2 more options or some such included in there. So and then you get to 14th level, now you're rolling a d12 and there's more wildness, just to keep that wildness feel. Because imagine by the time you hit level 14, if you play through from low, you probably now have a plan for every one of these options, and then when it keeps sinking down and narrowing down that you can choose which one you want, you're probably just going to choose your favorite and go with things. And we're not wild anymore. We're just kind of like, we've got a good idea what we can use and how we're going to use it.
It's just kind of contradictory to the whole title of Path of Wild Magic. We're wild, but at the end, we're not so wild. We're more controlled.
This class was dialed in, but it could all be fixed if they go to Unstable Backlash and remove the last sentence, which is this effect replaces your current wild magic effect, meaning that you can build up this class, and as you roll your Controlled Surge, slowly add each of the 8 conditions, and then you're running around with flumps exploding everywhere and, you know, bright light disco ball giving you buff to AC as you throw your giant warhammer across the battlefield. This would be an amazing class if they got rid of that sentence. But until they do, it's just not that wild.
I get it. So you want to see stacked effects. You think that
I want to see stacked effects. I want to see that, like, this has to be run. The player can be no less than a DM with 5 years experience and a license in multiple creatures, multiple characters, and completed 2 campaigns with at least 4 players in them.
Character concepts. How would I play this character? All right, so wild magic, unstable. I feel there's a lot of things going on there. So potentially for me, I'd play this character along the lines of a little bit of me feels like it's like, I don't know if those remember the Asterix and Obelix comic. Like Obelix fell into the potion and now he's just imbued with it at all times. So I'm thinking something along the lines of some magical experiment, wild magic surge fields, things like that you spent the night in, or something happened and now it's constantly around you, and would also affect your character. You're going to be a little bit chaotic and maybe a little twitchy and a little bit mad to a degree, more so than the average barbarian. Just because your life involves random things popping out of life. Like, people are going to ask you for a common sense answer, and you're just going to tell them just crazy shit. Because doesn't that happen to everyone all the time? Like that's my life. Like, I don't know how you guys live your life, but just I'm seeing an off the wall character for this one.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's for me, it feels almost like somebody raised in like a tribe as such, or a village with some innate type magical substance or environmental effect that's slowly soaked into them, and that's them mixed with maybe having Tourette's or something like that. So
Good barbarian.
at any random moment, it's just like and magic just spurts out.
Everyone just turns.
Control it.
He's just standing there with chickens or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So there's definitely some roleplay flavor in there for that one. It is pretty wild. Just trying to think of a backstory is wild enough to make that path of wild magic. Throw over to you, Mod. What do you reckon?
I'm gonna have to go with Disco Stew.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like that built. If I ever get the disco ball one, I would like to be able to re-roll and just have the light shining off me.
Yep.
And turn it into some sort of dancing barbarian breakdancer.
Performance, it's going to be required.
Yeah, going around on roller skates everywhere.
70s style, yeah, I can see that.
Disco.
I think we need to see that now. We need to see that happen.
I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to play a disco barbarian.
With dark flowers.
That's mine. 100% disco barbarian.
Owned. All right, Mitch. So we don't steal your ideas. What would be some good tips for players for this class?
How am I meant to do that without stealing your ideas? I don't understand.
I'm sorry. It was a reverse cycle. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, so as a player, I would go straight to my DM and say, I would like to increase the amount of one. I'd ask to remove that sentence from 10th level so I could stack abilities.
Might be overpowered.
And make it so the disco ball appears when I rage. That will be my answer. I would like Disco Stew to be a thing.
I need more disco balls. Brock, what do you reckon players need to be aware of when if they're going to choose this class?
Well, I think the obvious one is just the randomness of the spells and which one's going to come out. But at least you'll have an idea before you sort of take an action, and it's requires a bit of a agility from the DM side of things. I know we're not talking about DM side yet, but it's just such a natural crossover. Unstable backlash is a good ability to have, regardless of the last sentence. It's a bit of a fail safe. All dependent on rage though, and that's probably the thing you'd want to keep your eye on, making sure you don't run out of your rage, because once that's over, and you only get so many rages depending on your player level. Once they're gone, a lot of this is gone with it.
Things I'd consider is if you're a tactical player, this class is not going to work for you. And if the rest of the people in your game are tactical players, this is going to be a nuisance, because people can't plan for which one you're going to get. So you've got a 1 in 8 chance of getting that teleporting if that's the one you want. Later on you can narrow down and have a second crack at it and things like that, but early on, like, you just can't plan for this. So tactical players will find you a nuisance rather than an aid, because you can't figure this out. But like wild magic sorcerers, there is a place for you, and for those who love the chaos, then you're going to get into this. for DMs, as I stated and alluded to earlier, that you want to basically probably increase the magical effect table, if not every few levels, add or change some around so it stays wild. Talk to the player about those options. They might want to narrow down and start using these abilities effectively, whereas you might, if they also might want to keep it wild and keep that going. So potentially look at some other charts and tables and either increase or replace some of those abilities as you, or sort of wild magic things you can roll. Roth, you talk about DMs. Is there anything else you reckon for DMs for this one?
No, I think there's some pretty good points that you raised there from a DM perspective. It's just going to require a bit of agility and when you are entering that rage, having a bit more of awareness and study up on what these magical effects are, so
Yeah.
that you can sort of pre-think some things out. So yeah, a bit of experience there as a GM.
You just
Definitely.
reminded me of one, but I'll wait for Mitch to go before I
No,
Well,
go
no,
while it's in
steal
your
his
head.
idea.
Go while it's in your
just
head.
so you can steal this. All right, so one I had that one got me was someone was playing a wild mage barbarian, and he says, "No worries, I see the magic. What school is it?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta go look this up now." One of their abilities, the third level one, the magical awareness, they get to know the school. So DMs, if you've got one of these in your campaign, put notes next to what school it is, because I can't remember what school a lot of things. Evocation, I don't remember which one. Let me go look it up. It just slows the game down. So, and they're going to ask that question. So, if you have any magical effects or items, put a note somewhere describing what school it's from, because it's going to keep coming up.
My DM tip is with the level 3 ability, remember that if their intelligence score isn't high and their backstory doesn't have them learning arcane ways, don't actually tell them the schools. Talk about it before they get to level 3, as soon as they tell you you're going to do this, and actually set up the spells so you have abjuration as blue.
Color.
You see conjuration
color.
as yellow. Like this has a yellowy glow over it.
Yep.
The
It's
magic seems to be emanating a rose scent or a color, and work out sort of like a language you can use to
Tastes-
speak to that player.
Tastes like
A
copper.
taste, a smell, a heat, some sort of sense that they can use to go, I know what that is. And my character's like, oh, it's like, it's kind of, I like it. It's kind of springy. It tastes springy, like a spring.
Yeah.
Tangy.
Yeah, and they're like, you mean like brass? No, spring. Tastes like a spring.
Spring
like
flavor.
Chewy. Chewy. It smells chewy. But like, it's one of those things. But
Sounds like orange.
obviously, as a DM, I actually have one of these playing in the campaign where my players are working with and for some crazy creatures. And he straight up at level 1 said, I want to go this way. Can I just roll on the Sorcerer's Wild Surge table? And of course, I just said, yes, you may. Please roll a fireball as soon as you can. In fact, roll twice. Roll again. Roll a fourth time. I want to see this.
We'll get it eventually.
But we'll get it. But no, talk about it. Make it interesting. For God's sake, replace that. Get rid of that last line of the 10th level ability, and then add some new effects in. You know, they puff into feathers. They get covered with this lightning streaks off them. They leap into the air for no reason. All this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Have some fun with it.
Tarred and feathered, work up naked. Yep. Cool. All right. Well, I think we've gone through this one. We're at the high end of the time periods. So, Roth, as our guest star, you want to tell us what you're going over on your channels?
Yeah, sure. Just doing some streaming of miniature painting. We'll be loading or building into some monthly reviews of creators and their styles and designs that they bring out. So there's some other flavorful pieces. Getting involved in a couple of other streams as well here and there. Like on you follow Crit and Miss, we'll be jumping
Crit
on
and Miss, yep.
Tales of the Roguelite. I think I got that right. Mark's going to kill me when he sees that. But yeah, good community. Jump on board. Come and have a look, and we're all, helping each other out. So that's the important thing. But creating marvelous content for you guys to get on board with. So thanks, guys.
Sounds
Oh, yeah,
good.
man.
And we're going to have
Oh,
all
yeah.
your links down below. Check them out if you're tracking down Froth. Mitch, in your Among Mates, what do you got going on?
Yes, this Thursday on Novaborn on Twitch, I'll be running a one shot, but it's continuous one shot where we get perks and stuff. Last time we killed
perks.
Bruce Campbell outside of Bunnings in Australia while fighting Deadites with lightsabers. But this time I think we're going to take a little trip to our friend Freddy's and stay there for a couple nights, as well as some ghost hunting. But we are doing a subathon. So what I've done is I've actually taken 3 to 4 D&D content creators captive, and for every subscriber that Novaborn gets, I'm going to release one hostage.
Yeah. Well, that's how you get people, isn't it?
It sounds
Yeah.
pretty cool. I did catch some of that one with the bunnies, and it was wild and a lot of fun. It was just craziness level cranked up. Rules just
Your
like
disregard for the
love
rules is
game. Yeah.
it's great.
Listen, if I had to explain the rules to them, the game might not be as fun.
Right. Well, once again, thanks guys for coming and joining us. It's been good to make it 3. We don't normally do 3 here, so we've had to find new positions. Affiliate links, all that sort of stuff's below. If you want to track these people down, it's all down below there. And hopefully we'll join you all again for another subclass review coming up as we continue through Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
Disco, woo, woo, disco.
Catch us next time.